here's Izzy again. How are you today? And thanks for coming back to me and to my YouTube channel. I don't know if it will develop into that, but I hope so. And today I just want to talk about what really happened and what led me to want to divorce my husband, or I will call him my, my soon-to-be ex, maybe. Well, it's a long story really, and it goes back to several years, and it's just something that crept into our marriage over several years. When we first got married, it was very hard because I found out that my soon-to-be ex had a very bad temper, and he would just fly into a rage over the slightest little things. And it could be something, maybe a dish that hadn't been cleaned in the kitchen, or maybe a window that was open, or a door that had been left unlocked. I mean, it doesn't matter what it was, but he would just fly into a rage about little things. And I was very shocked at first when that happened, and I couldn't understand why that was happening. And unfortunately, a lot of the times I would respond in anger, which I shouldn't have done. And over the years, this became worse, and we had a lot of problems also, because when we first started our marriage, his now adult son was still living with us. At the time he was 15 and he was on marijuana, and I was always very angry about that, and I said I can't have him in the house smoking marijuana. And also he was drinking excessively, leaving bottles of beer everywhere. It was just not acceptable, and I had young children who I tried to bring up with morals and without drugs and without this type of behavior. Anyway, that was a big sore spot, and we separated for a while. That was about 12 years ago. We had a trial separation which lasted 6 months, and things did improve a little bit after that, but he soon started to become very angry and have these outbursts of rage at me, and it wasn't a very nice thing. So the marriage was very rocky, I would say. From the start it was very rocky. And we had a second time when we separated for a while. He left this time because I put a restraining order on him, because he'd been violent, not towards me, but he smashed a TV, he karate kicked it, and he was physically violent in the sense that he broke the TV, and it really frightened my kids. So he did leave, and I was on my own. And the second time I was on my own, I actually felt quite good. It wasn't so bad, but I knew I still loved him. I wanted him back. And eventually we were back together, and again the relationship was very rocky, and there was always a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting. Now over the years that fighting really subsided, and I think it's because I stopped reacting to him, and instead of reacting with anger to his whatever he would say or do, I would just not say anything, or say okay, that's fine, or if you feel that way, blah blah blah. So I became very passive in that regard, and very I would just go with the flow and try not to get upset, and that worked quite well. But I feel like in the long run I've lost some of my personality. I've sort of buried inside of me a lot of my feelings, and to the point that towards the end, and even now, I'm actually scared to tell him how I feel and what's going through my head, and what makes me feel sad, or what makes me feel frustrated or disappointed. I'm really actually scared to tell him, and that's why in the end I didn't bother trying to explain to him, look, I'm not happy in my marriage because we don't spend much quality time together. There's hardly anything. We never eat together. He cooks his food and just takes it to the bedroom, and he wouldn't even eat my food. He wouldn't even eat what I cooked. He cooked his own food. I think he did it because he's a very calculated person, and he, in his mind, he probably thought, well, if I make my own food and I don't ask her to cook for me, then I don't owe her anything. And I think the same happened with the sex. Kind of, well, if I don't ask for sex, and then and she doesn't give it to me, or if I don't ask for it, then I don't owe her anything in that sense. That means he was always very careful not to let me know that he needed me in any way. And that's what really hurt me in the end, to the point that I'm seeking a divorce, is that I really felt that this person doesn't need me. This person is quite happy living without me. And I'm just, what am I? A burden, a piece of furniture, an addition to the whole, or is it to look good in front of his family? Because a lot of people in his family are divorced or separated, so just to make it look good on the outside. I don't know, or maybe for his daughter. I mean, we have a daughter together, but again, he hasn't spent much quality time with her, really. He it's like he didn't want that connection with me or with anyone else. And he also never tried to have any connection with my children, with my now adult children. Maybe except for one, that's my daughter Sonia, who has a little baby, and I think she's the only person that he had a little bit of a connection with, because of, I mean, the baby. He really likes the baby, and I felt, in the end, I felt very lonely in my marriage, and very neglected. And maybe a couple, 2 or 3 years ago, I started daydreaming. I thought about traveling. I wanted to go to South America. I wanted to go to the Galapagos Islands, to to the Easter Island. I mean, to really exotic places. And I would share those ideas with him, and he would just reject them all and say, "Oh no, you can't go to that place. It's too dangerous there. Oh, why do you want to go there? And why would you even want to leave home?" I mean, to him, this is all just totally unnecessary, and possibly maybe the money side. He hates spending money. He likes to have his money grow on a screen, but he hates spending it. So traveling would mean dipping into those savings or whatever, and that's something he didn't want to. And and we're coming to another sore point: the money. Twice I inherited money from my parents, and once in the early 2000s, my dad passed away very tragically from leukemia. He was only 68, yeah, not even 69, and he passed on. And I inherited some money, like I think it was like $100,000. And when Joe and my ex and I bought our first home, I put these $100,000 towards our mortgage, and he didn't put anything in. And over the years, he made more repayments, because at one stage I couldn't really get much work, and I was also suffering from depression, and I couldn't work a lot of the times. So he made, I must admit, that was good of him, that he took over the repayments. And but then I inherited some money again this year from my mother, and I had 80,000. It was more than 80,000, but I put $80,000 into the mortgage again, because he asked me to do that. He said, "You need to put that money into the mortgage," and he put some money in as well. But the thing is, he has so much more savings than me, and he has so much money left over. To me, that was everything I had, and so I have no savings left. He didn't, and he still has so many more savings put away, and I wasn't happy about that. I also asked him to put a bit more, because he's got so much more money. I asked him to put more money in than I did. I asked him to put more money in, like $10,000 or $20,000 more, and he said no. But he said if he does it, he will bill me. He will bill me that money when the house gets sold. I have to repay that to him, and I felt that was so strange and so, I don't know, so petty and almost like, I mean, I'm married. We've been married for over 15 years, and yet he's got to present me with a bill when our home gets. That was way before I even talked about divorce. That was like, and I wasn't happy with that. I felt humiliated. I felt, he could, because he inherited money off his mum and dad as well, but he won't tell me how much it is. You see, I always disclosed everything to him, but he never disclosed any of his assets. I don't even know how much money he inherited, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to invest that," and basically it was all just for him to enjoy. I've got nothing left to enjoy for myself. I put it all into the mortgage, and on top of that, then he said, when we sell the house, he's going to present me with a bill because but he refused to put more money in anyway, because I didn't agree with that bill. And I said, we've been married for that long, and you're treating me like a stranger. I'm your wife. And it's only, I mean, when we bought the property, I put more money. I put $100,000 in, which is all I had, my whole life savings basically. I sacrificed that money for our home, and but he hasn't sacrificed anything, and but he couldn't understand my point, and at that stage I'd had enough. I felt, no, I can't stay with this man. He's just so petty, and everything is so calculated, and also, he's got a vindictive trait. That means it's like he likes to seek revenge, and he thinks that I'm like that too. He said, "Oh, if I did something," he said, "Oh, you're just trying to get back at me and stuff." I said, "No, I'm not like that. I don't seek revenge. I just want to, I just want to live at peace with people. But I also want people to treat me as an equal. Like in the relationship, I wanted him to treat me as a wife, as his equal, as a person. We were meant to live together until we died, and yet he treated me like I was some sort of just a housemate, someone who lived there with him, and everything had to be cut in half. Everything to the bone, like calculating the money. Oh, you owe me this and you owe me that. I've paid $5 for this, so you owe me these. I can't live like that. It's so petty, and I have given a lot to this marriage. Thanks to me, he had the opportunity to build great wealth, which he never did with his previous wife, because he's always kept me in semi-poverty. I was living in semi-poverty while he was amassing money into his different accounts, and whether it's savings or share account, I don't know what he has, but he won't disclose that to me. And when, he also inherited money off his mum not long ago, and I didn't even ask him how much it was, because I'm so scared that he's going to have an angry outburst. At this stage, I'm so scared of that man that I can't even talk to him. And it was like that before I made the move to separate and to get my own rental place and to live my own life. It was there. It was that fear has always been there, and it's. I feel that I'm not myself anymore. I'm not the person I used to. I used to be a very happy, very outgoing person, always laughing, cracking jokes, very humorous. And I feel like he's killed all that in me. I'm not myself anymore. I have to be careful what I'm saying. I have to be careful what comes out of my mouth. I have to control everything I'm doing, I'm saying, because I'm so frightened of him. And today everyone talks a lot about narcissists, and I don't know whether he's a narcissist or not. I don't know. I'm not there to diagnose him. But he certainly has a lot of the narcissistic traits, and lack of empathy is one of them. Many times during my marriage, I would be very devastated, very upset, and crying. And he doesn't care if someone cries in front of him. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't have any feelings for that person. It's just, to him, it's more a sign of weakness. If I was crying in front of him, he wouldn't try to console me or give me a hug and say, look, we'll do this together. We're in it together. We can work it out. Or, things will be all right. I'm there to help. No. If I cried, he would just humiliate me more and make me feel worse and call me probably a hysteric bitch or something like that. So I don't know if I'm clear or if I'm I'm just rambling on. I don't know. It's very difficult for me to express myself clearly with regards to this, and everything is so mixed up, and so I don't know what's happening to me anymore. I've already said that in my last video. I feel like I'm living in a parallel universe, and I'm just in a different in a different dimension altogether. It's like almost like I'm so stressed and so how do you say that, so emotionally drained and affected that I have lost touch with reality. I mean, I know I'm not going crazy or anything, but it's like I don't know what is true and what is not anymore. I don't know whether I should carry on with a lawyer or not. But everyone says, yes, you should take a lawyer because he's not transparent and because he won't disclose assets. So I need to have a lawyer because we're dealing with someone who's not 100% honest. And I understand that, I can see that, but it's very frightening. It really scares the shit out of me, to be quite honest. I don't want to say that word, but that's what it feels like. It's very scary, and I just wish there was an easier way. And everyone says that divorce is very hard and it's very difficult, but apparently it's not meant to be like that. It's the people who make it hard and who make it a difficult process. And from what I've also, from what I've heard, is that in most divorce cases, there's at least one narcissist involved, and this narcissist will make the situation awkward. He or she, it could be, I'm not saying it's necessarily him, it could be her, will make the situation more complicated, will delay procedures, and will make the whole process more difficult, because that's what narcissists do. They're very vindictive, they're very manipulative, and they feed on those emotions, on the drama. They want this drama. They want to cause pain in the other person. They want to cause that pain, and you see, I don't want to cause him any pain. By taking him a lawyer, I just want to make things clearer, and I only want to, from the separation, from the financial separation, I only want to get what I'm entitled to by law. But he won't see it that way. He will think that I'm taking a lawyer because I'm vindictive and I'm a horrible bitch, like he's always told me that I was a bitch and a dumb bitch or a stupid bitch. I can't remember which one, but he always used to say that to me during an argument. Sorry, I can't even talk properly anymore. I'm so sorry. And that will just, I just don't want to want him to interpret it that way, but he will, and that's where I'm really asking myself the question: is he a narcissist? I've always thought he was a narcissist, but he doesn't have all the narcissistic traits. For example, as far as I know, he hasn't cheated on me. with other women, but like I said before, it's always seems like he's having an affair with his money because he loves his money so much. He'd rather get up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, go straight to his computer and see how his investments have gone up, rather than stay in bed with me and give me a cuddle. And this is, where I feel I've missed out on so much. And I was feeling a lot of loneliness in that marriage, lying in bed and wishing he would touch me, wishing he would just lie next to me and maybe talk to me or take my hand or anything. No, that wouldn't happen. It did happen very, very rarely, but not as a rule. As a rule, I would be ignored and not taken into consideration. The money was always more important. And and this is why I think I need to stick with this idea of, getting the lawyer to go through the process with me. I feel like once the the financial divorce is over, I think then I will be ready to start a new life. And as per yet, I'm not excited yet. I'm actually feel like I'm dying right now. I am dying inside myself. Yeah, I'm feeling very dead, and it's almost like something has died, and it has died in me. And it will take me a long time to get over this. But also, there's no way back. Right now, there's no way back. My decision is irrevocable, and unfortunately, I have to continue down this path now. And I have to be strong for my own sake and for my kids' sake, especially my daughter, Nina, who's the youngest. I don't want to end up living in poverty, so I need the money to get myself into another place, because I don't want to be in a rental for the rest of my life. It's very expensive, and it's just not mine. It's not my place. So yeah, I have to go to work this afternoon, and so I will leave it at that, and I will talk a bit more next time. At the moment, everything is very messy, and I don't even know what to title this video. It's all like, I feel like I'm just rambling on, but maybe I need to do this at this stage. So please be patient with me, and thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.